Hello, hello. Hey, Rothy. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hi, surrounded by perverts. Happy Thursday. Hope y'all are well. Yay. That's right, we are a lolly. Happy Lunar New Year. Yes, happy Lunar New Year to you. Yeah. We are in the year of the horse. That's right. And we are going to get ourselves a boyfriend in this game in the next 3 chapters. Yeah. Over the next 3 chapters. We might get him sooner. Just Rothy. That's right. Year of the horse, Draco Malfoy intensifies in China. That's right. Just yep. Nay. I'll just whip and I'll nay nay. That's the horse motto. Hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all have had a good week so far. Mine has been all right. I got good. I got some things done. Just like still adjusting to like being a grown up with like time change. It's just kind of like, can we not? I thought we voted that this was done. Now lolly whips. Now popo nay nays. Exactly. Exactly, Rothy. Yeah. All right, let's get yeah, so we've been working on 9 rip. We are on the final / true route. So we have played through the game 9 other times with 9 different suitors, and now this is the final one. So, yeah. They ruined it. We shouldn't have to do this. It sucks. Oh, yeah. Are you talking about time change? Or are we talking about Lunar New Year? Lunar New Year's fine. Perfect. No notes. Yeah, okay. Time change. Gotcha. Yeah. It's a bit archaic. Time is a social construct. No, I appreciate the structure of time, but I don't appreciate the implementation of time. Time is a weird soup, not a good soup. A weird soup. Yeah, you don't like soup? All soup? Rothy, all soup? What constitutes every format of something with broth? Do you mean pho? Pho is a soup? Vietnamese noodle soup? Chicky noodles? Chicken and stars? All soups? Miso soups? It's just hot, wet broth. Sinigang soup. Yeah. All the soups. Tofu soup. Is rice just soggy cereal or soup that lacks broth? Well, what about rice porridge? Wait, what? What is what is the distinction? Or, well, there is a clear distinction between porridge and soup, but are they under the same umbrella of hot, wet broth? Is risotto adjacent to porridge? And if we think porridge and soup are the same, then is risotto soup? What do we do? I think we're gonna rip a black hole portal in space and time with all these questions, yeah? Risotto's just no. Risotto's the opposite. Risotto's hot wet rice. It's not crunchy. Yeah. Cereal is often eaten as a milk-based soup, but the grains that define cereal are not inherently soup. But sometimes we put barley in soup, and that's very like hearty and, I don't know, adjacent. Also a grain like cereal. Is the ocean just fish soup? Yes. Yes. And our bodies, we're all just human soup inside of skin suits. Like a bread bowl. Sorry. Ugh. The ocean was not prepared as soup, but that will not stop us from consuming it as one. Mmm. Mmm. One second. One second. I'm going to get a sip of water. Yeah. Let me think. Let me noodle on this a little bit. Let me think. Because we also have the, like, there's no distinction on hot or cold, because there are cold soups. Gazpacho is a cold soup. But really, gazpacho is just a tomato puree. And tomato puree is just adjacent to salsa. So is salsa soup? What do we do? How will we ever figure it out? It's good soup. All right. Here's I don't know the soup dilemma, but let's see. Let me see. I mean, I think I think our I think it's both. Soup, I think broth must be running through our veins, and then it mixes with all the other ingredients, i.e. our innards, and that makes soup, human soup. I mean, because if you think about it, there's actually a lot of soups that have, like, you know, stomachs and livers and stuff like that. I think menudo is a soup that has brain parts. Let me look. Menudo. I wrote it wrong, and it's 10x funnier. I wrote medudo. Kind of like my guy, but like medudo. Like that. Alright, menudo. Traditional Mexican soup, often hailed as hangover cure, made from beef tripe, which is stomach, and commonly beef feet, and a red chili pepper broth with hominy. Hominy being like adjacent to corn. It's what grits are made out of. Hominy. They look like white corn kernels, big fat ones. So, yeah. This tea tastes like hot leaf juice. Zuko, uncle, that's what all tea is. That's true. That's true. All right. Let's see. Where are we at in our story? Let me get my walkthrough up. We're on chapter 3, 4. Let me see. I mean, the game tells me. We are on chapter 3. We're on chapter 3. Here's like what's happened so far. Nothing like new has happened. Basically, we are having a fight with our mom because she is just kind of railroading over all of our, wishes and desires, and we're just like, oh, that school that you like are insistent that I go to, I don't think I want to. She's just like, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you do. And I'm like, no, I need you to believe me. I don't want to. She's just like, okay. Yeah, but when you go to that school, you need to do blah, blah, blah. So anyways, she is steamrolling us. And we are trying to like figure that part out. We are being haunted and visited by a Ouija board, a god in training, and then a Tengu. So you do like steamed rolls? Steamed rolls, but not steam-rolled steam rolls. Yeah. Because that would just then be like meat pancakes. It doesn't have to have meat, I suppose. It'd just be pancakes. Steamed hams. I'd eat that. I've had a smoked ham. Steamed hams just sounds like it would take way longer, but yeah. All right. Okay. Let's see. Why are you smoking ham? Kind of like the smoking gun. It's the smoking ham. Yeah. Have I? No, I don't think I have not seen this steamed hams meme. Please send it to me later. Huh. I mean, I've seen a lot of Simpsons. I don't remember a steamed ham one. That's funny. All right. In all fairness, I'm pretty. Let's see. I know that it's like still ongoing, right? Like I haven't watched anything in the last like couple of years from Simpsons. I have not seen, so I'll have to catch up. I'm curious. I'm curious what else they will foretell in our future. All right, here I am. Rock me like a hurricane. Okay, we're sleeping. It was from the one episode that was an anthology of vignettes about the side characters. Okay, well, it sounds like that could have been multiple, honestly, but I'm sure that there's like an official de facto one. I believe you. I feel like there's just some overlapping themes we see with Simpsons. So, all right. Here we go. It was night. I'd been in bed for some time, but I couldn't sleep. Thoughts of my mother kept racing through my mind. I couldn't get myself to fall asleep. I tossed and turned, checking my phone over and over. I'd lost track of how many times I sighed. I'll get a glass of water. I gave up on sleep and got out of bed. It was so dark that I didn't notice someone was at the table until I was close. Ah! I gasped in surprise. Oh, Mom, it's you. With everything happening lately, it could have been anyone. Mom noticed me and slowly looked up.
まだ起きていたの?
I could say the same to you. This is so awkward. I wanted to leave. I wanted to go back to my room and hide under my blankets. So we got in a fight with our mom. Like we ran out of the house. It was like, you don't understand me. And then we came back with our sister. And our mom was worried, but no formal words have really been exchanged about what happened. Basically, she's just like, did you eat here? That's where we are at. But at the same time, I knew I had to face the problems before me. I can't keep avoiding this. I sat down at the table, gathering all my courage. My mom looked up, surprised. I want to talk. My voice was barely above a whisper.
夜中だから声を落として話せる分、冷静になれるかもしれないわね。
Her response filled me with relief.
よく眠れるようにハーブティーでも入れるわ。
Thank you. And then she drugged us so that she didn't have to have a difficult conversation. Just kidding. Mom got up and went to the kitchen to start boiling water. She's standing right there. I could start talking whenever, but... And then they could... Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. Wait. I don't mean to say... I know this is a strange thing to segue, but let me say something. The UK Parliament just... I think it has... or I don't know if it's officially passed or they are working to pass some legislation. No, it's not BL. So, let Ppoppo cook this soup. This is Ppoppo soup. Exactly. It's kind of inappropriate soup. I mean, it's appropriate to the this joke that was made, but basically, but this is a real thing that is happening. But the UK either is working to pass or has passed something that step parent, step sibling, adult material, they're actually going to like outlaw it. I don't know how they're going to actually enforce it. But what they're trying to do is make sure that people don't normalize those kinds of relationships, and that's why they're banning it. So yeah, I learned about this and it was just like, oh, okay, like, it, yeah, like I mean, like, I just feel like, yes, like, I understand the premise, like, yeah, that should not be normalized. I don't think it is normalized, by the way. Like, I don't think everyone's just like, yeah, in real life. Like, it seems like a lot of the other way, where a lot of people hate their, like, step, siblings and families. And some people just like them very, like, not in that way as well. So, like, just seems like this is already kind of a fringe thing anyways. And so yes, I understand. Like, yeah, don't want that normalized. A lot of things that, a lot of bad things happen within those kind of dynamics. Sure. But like, making it illegal with no real way to, like, super enforce it is kind of strange. Yeah. Light novel authors intensify. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, okay. Yeah. And so it's one of those things where it's just kind of like I said, of all the legislation they could be passing something that really is, one, not super enforceable, or would be like super expensive to, like, enforce, versus, like, actual real things they could be doing that have, like, very actionable consequences of it, right? And I'm not trying to, like, justify anything that it's just like, well, if everyone can say this is, like, fantasy, what about this, like, over here thing on the, like, far end of the spectrum that is, like, problematic? It's like, I'm not arguing any of those. I'm just saying that, like, outlaw the thing, which I think the thing itself is already not, I don't know. I think so. I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to, like, I mean, I guess you can't marry your, your step blanks, right? So, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah. And then it was just one of those things where it's like, why are you stopping at step things when there are, like, certain states out there that, like, people are marrying their, like, their cousins. And I get it that some people would be like, excuse me, there's a certain level of cousin that is, like, an okay cousin that won't be, like, an inbred cousin. It's like, okay, I get it. But, like, all right. I digress. Hey, Miko. Yeah, hello. Hi, welcome. I'm Lolli Ppoppo. You came in at a weird time, at a weird tangent, but we're we were talking about a law that was, like, it's either passed or is being passed in the UK, where, like, basically, like, step parent and step sibling dynamics in, like, adult aids, adult content is getting outlawed. And we were just kind of like, okay, like, but meanwhile there are states in the US that where people can, like, date their cousin, not even date their cousin, marry their cousin, all that. So, and I don't think it's even, like, second or third cousin. I think it's direct cousin. But, like, neither here nor there. Because the royal family does that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. One of your students today apologized for being late, normally 30 minutes early, but was instead 20 minutes early. He said he was busy moving the sun by 1 centimeter to prevent the ocean from disappearing, and you responded, does this help me at the gas pump by reducing the cost? What about a pound of ground beef? Well, it might actually increase the cost of those because people will keep using them. Ah, well, perhaps the sun should go back to its original position. Yeah, like I said, you know, I just, what I don't understand about daylight savings time is that, like, we do not, like, it is not, it's certainly not universally adopted across the globe. Like, so I work with an international team. They do have daylight savings time, but it's like 3 weeks from now. So it's like, what? And then even within the US, there are states that are like, "Nah, we're not doing, the daylight savings time." And it's like, "Excuse me?" It doesn't, yeah. Oh, some states in the US want to be on the half hour instead. Just joking about all the random political stuff that goes on. Yeah, yeah. It's inconvenient and was made for a world that we no longer live in. Yeah, just Arizona opted out of it. Florida wants to be on it permanently. Interesting. Florida, that's such a weird. That would be amazing, or like not amazing, but like a very strange thought that it's like we're passing the law that this is going to stay forever, even if future generations are just kind of like, hey, this doesn't serve us. It's not really okay. And then it's like, well, no, there's a law that says we can't undo this. And it's like, can we tell that law to like GTFO, please? It would make time-wise, the sun sets 1 hour later. As a tourism state, it works out for them. If farmers want to get up early, then let them change their schedules. Why should we follow their path? Yeah. Oh, I guess saying it don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. I was blown away though that Arizona was like, nah, because Arizona has its own little, quirks as well. That it's just like, are you guys okay? Okay. Because I think, actually, you know what? Before I totally diss Arizona, let me make sure that I'm dissing them for the correct reason. Because I feel like, let me just look this up real quick. Law to man. All right, let me see. There was something about like Happy Meals a long time ago. Yeah. And like somebody, I want to say it was Arizona. I could be wrong, but somebody was just like, we're going to sue McDonald's because Happy Meals are just so enticing to kids. And so we're gonna sue them, or we're gonna ban them, or something. And it was just kind of like, like that sounds like a like you and your child problem, not like everyone else in the world's problem. Because it's just kind of like, because all these people were coming forward, and they're just like, yeah, when my kid sees McDonald's, they start screaming and they won't stop, and it's like that is a you problem, like. That little kid cannot drive to the drive-thru by themselves. Like, you are enabling this habit, so, like, come on. All right, but let's see. Okay, let me catch up on some chat here real quick. But the reservation in Arizona does have it because their territory goes into New Mexico. But there's a reservation in the reservation that doesn't have it. Oh my gosh, sounds like something from Texas. Happy Meals should be sad meals. Arizona, dude. Yeah. Anyone tried the new Big Arch Burger? I don't think so. Green Yoshi, hi. Hope you're doing well. You missed a very enthralling episode about, we talked a lot about soup earlier and what constitutes soup. Now we're talking about McDonald's food. So, yeah. Yoshi time. Okay, I haven't had the Big Arch Burger, but yeah. The Squidward biting meme is the only good thing that came out from the McDonald's CEO. Yeah. man, I remember somebody was like trying to argue about like, they were like, you know, like you can, you know, like they said McDonald's has healthy food. And here's what I think they meant. As in, there are foods that are a little less worse for you at McDonald's, maybe. As in, if you wanted to get a salad at McDonald's, you could get a salad at McDonald's, right? But I would not go to McDonald's to eat healthy, right? Like, it's possible that I could go to McDonald's and eat something healthier, maybe. But I would not like be like, I want to eat healthy. I'm going to go to McDonald's, right? Yeah, but unfortunately, your McDonald's is sold out of the Shamrock Shakes and the Oreo Shamrock. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That McDonald's needs to, like, shut down. Like, I feel like Shamrock Shakes is, like, one of the few things it has going for it for the 1 month. So, Green Yoshi, you don't eat McDonald's? Surrounded by Perverts, McDonald's is on your boycott list. Got it. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, like I said, it's just like, you know, like I said, I think at one point McDonald's was trying to be on the bandwagon of like, we're gonna be healthy-ish, and it was like, are ya? If I want to see whales, I would go to the ocean. I remember. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, I did. Here's one thing I did appreciate when there was like the big boom of like, okay, everybody is going to pretend that they are healthy-esque. I do appreciate that there are nutrition counts that are available somewhere, you know, whether it's their website. Like, I can appreciate that. Whether people actually use them or not, I don't know, but it's a nice to have. It does put some things in perspective, and I think sometimes when I am like counting macros, it is nice to like know, because it puts a lot of things in perspective. But like, but I don't do macro counting that often. So, but like I said, it is interesting to think about, because sometimes you're just like, this seems pretty all right, and then you look at like your app blow up, and it's like all your numbers go off the scale, and it's like, oh, I see. That little taco had enough fats for, you know, for my whole day. So now I just got to eat like a rabbit if I want to keep my macros in a certain level, you know. But like I said, I don't count those too often. For the most part, I live by the French girl diet. It is eat whatever you want, just don't eat all of it all at one time. So it works out. So but all right, what a side tangent. We were just talking about so many things. And now back to the good stuff. Here, back to the game. Here's where we're at. We went downstairs. It was dark. Our mom was just sitting there in the dark. And we were like, yo. And now we're having a conversation. So we have been fighting with our mom about our future. And now we're having a conversation. So she's making tea for us. I was so nervous. I felt my throat closing. I couldn't formulate the right words. Where should I start? Stuck deep in thought, I didn't realize Toka had glided up beside me.
Shh. 僕の方を見ちゃダメなのです。
He startled me, and just as I was about to scream, Toka put a finger to his lips. I refrained from yelling and nodded in response.
考えて話さなくていいです。思っていることをそのまま言うです。
What's on my mind? With Toka's prompting, I found myself opening my mouth to speak. I'm sorry.
ごめんなさい。
She beat me to the punch. Huh? My mom apologized first, and I merely stared back at her, confused. Whenever it came to my career path, she was always so certain. I never expected her to apologize to me. She stared back at me, a pained smile on her face.
あなたは謝らなくていいのよ。私がいけないのだから。
As she spoke, she brought the tea she'd made over to the table. As she poured the steaming water into the cup, I smelled the aroma of the tea, and I felt myself calming down. She then took a seat in front of me and continued speaking in a serious tone.
これまで進路のことであなたにきつく言ってしまっていたわよね。医学部へって。
She strained through each word thoughtfully, as if she was pained by each one.
あなたに嘘をついていたの。医学部へ行ってほしい理由について。
Oh, could it be? You didn't care about the stability and all that other stuff, right?
分かっていたの？
Kind of. I figured it was about Dad. My dad was an excellent doctor. When other hospitals had given up on a patient, my dad would offer to help and would very often save them. It wasn't as though he was able to save everyone, but he always did what he could. He was well regarded in and out of the hospital. Naturally, because my dad worked so much, he was rarely ever home. I want to see Dad. I miss him so much. When I was a little girl, I often vented about his absence to my family. Whenever I did, my mom would remind me how amazing he was. I was old enough to start understanding things around me, but not everything.
そうね。お母さんも寂しいわ。でも困ったことに、仕事に一生懸命なお父さんが好きなのよね。
Hold on. Did we do this? I just want to see something. Did we? Okay. No, I guess not. I think everything's starting to like blur together because we've done this game 9 other times. So it's just like, have we read this already? I feel like she already like apologized to us in this route once at the same time, but maybe not. I guess not. Mom, why do you keep making me wear the dad wig? I remember my mom speaking fondly of him, her eyes beaming with pride.
一生懸命に命を助けているお父さんは誰よりもかっこいい。あなたもそう思わない？
Yeah, totally! Her thoughts were like they were my own, and I always agreed whenever she spoke about him like that. The more I understood my dad's job, the more pride I took in him and his work. I thought he was the coolest dad in the world. Mom looked down, also seemingly reminiscing about those times.
お父さんがね、入院中に言っていたの。もっとたくさんの人を助けたかったって。その悔しそうな顔が忘れられなくて。
I didn't know he said that.
あなたや翼には見せたくなかったのよ。弱音を吐く姿をね。私はそんなお父さんの思いを娘たちに向けていた。勝手に託していたのよ。
My sister and I had heard our mom talk about our dad's achievements countless times. I would like for you two to be amazing doctors like your father once was. I had absorbed everything Mom had said over the years. In a way, I guess her desires came from wanting to honor him. She bowed down deeply towards me.
本当にごめんなさい。あなたにはあなたの未来があるというのに、私はあなたに言われた言葉が本当にその通りだった。
I'd spoken strongly before. I'm the one who has to live this life. Mom, my future isn't for you. I didn't mean to say it like that. I just...
いいの。あれで目が覚めたんだから。あなただったからこそ気づけたのだわ。
Thanks to me? She nodded, gave me a weak smile, and stood up.
話せてよかったわ。さあ、明日もあるんだから、そろそろ寝ないとね。おやすみなさい。
When she left the living room, I was alone. Someone Someone tapped my shoulder, and I looked up at Toka beside me.
お母さんに寄り添わなくてもいいんです。あなたにはあなたの人生があるです。
Kiri, hello. Thank you so much for the sub. Pow, 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 pow. Oh God, the sub baby is about to be. Hi, hi. Kiri, hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. Woohoo. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Yeah, we are just continuing with the Toka route. Very nice. We just had a hard conversation with our mom, but she apologized to us. So, but now we're probably feeling a little guilty, like, oh man, she actually does want us to like live in our father's shadow. I know. The path before me was now my own. I knew my mother wouldn't put pressure on me like before, and yet I still didn't feel better about the whole situation. I know Mom is still chasing after Dad's ghost, but God, how can people do this? How can they turn those we love into nothing but memories? I muttered the words to myself.
前を向く。それに尽きるのでしょう。
He's got those demon slayer eyes when he does that. He's not looking like that all the time, but right now he looks like, you know, one of the top, like, 13. Toka wasn't his usual self. His demeanor was like that of a god. The eyes, exactly. Creepy. His words were filled with authority, and in that moment, he really did seem like one. Doma. Yeah. I want Mom to be able to move forward. I wished it from the bottom of my heart. In order to do that, I have to be a doctor so that my mom can move on. And then once my mom moves on, then I can be like, I quit! I owe so much money! I returned to my room and headed straight for my desk. I took out the career path survey that had been hiding away in my desk. I've decided my path. Oh, there's only one answer. I didn't think twice. I just wrote the words. This is the right choice. Right, Dad? No! Don't do it! I muttered the words into the darkness, seeking his approval.
良い案が降りてきたのだ。
Startled by the sudden, loud voice, I screamed, leaping out of bed as I did so. Yukimaro, grinning from ear to ear, was standing by the side of the bed. I thought my heart was going to stop.
主様、主様、妙案が降りてきたのだ。
Oblivious to the annoyance shooting from my eyes, Yukimaro spoke excitedly. I let out a long sigh. Yukimaro, please wake up more gently next time. Waking me up like that is the worst way to start the day. You want to be a doctor so you can be $3 million? You can be $3 million in debt at the age of 18. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
まったくなのです。びっくりした拍子にあの世へ旅立つかと思ったですよ。
Toka casually appeared, agreeing with me. You're a god. You can't ascend any higher, can you? Game echo. Oh, okay. Oh, yep. Thank you so much, Green Yoshi. I appreciate it. I think I know what was happening. It should be good now. It was a stadium. Echo. Yay.
それほど驚いたという表現なのです。
Koharu rushed in, looking highly alert. Realizing his concern, I tried my best to reassure him. It's nothing serious. Yukimaru just had a great idea and caused a commotion.
びっくりさせんじゃねえ。何かあったかと思ったじゃねえか。
Oh, that angry Koharu voice.
たたっているものを心配して駆けつけるなんておかしいです。
Toka spoke in a teasing voice, and Koharu looked away, blushing.
心配したとは言ってねえだろ。
Despite his cold words, I knew Koharu was, in fact, a very kind spirit. I couldn't help but chuckle.
ちょっと嫉妬しちゃうですけど、彼女に優しくしてくれるのはいい行いなのです。
Both Toka and I were smiling, but Koharu seemed unable to bear the atmosphere. Yeah, you'd be a millionaire then. Yeah.
まったく、お前らニヤニヤすんじゃねえ。
こら小春、騒ぐでない。まったく朝からやかましいぞ。
お前に言われたがねえよ。てか何なんだよ、その妙案ってのは。
Yukimaru clapped his hands.
そうであった。母上のことについてなのだが。
Oh, that's already resolved. We talked last night. I've decided to go to Seigin and go into the medical field. I was eager to avoid talking about the issue further, and so I firmly stated my decision. Both Yukimaru and Koharu looked surprised, while Toka gave me a stern look. Don't get me wrong, this wasn't my mom's idea, it's mine. She's given me the freedom to choose. So I need to start studying. Just deciding to go there doesn't guarantee I'll get in. Before anyone could respond, I rushed out of the room. This is how I can help my mom move on with her life. I'm sure of it. Choose who you want to be. Yes. It seemed as though both my mom and sister had left already. I hurriedly got ready for school and rushed out the door. I walked as fast as I could toward the school. I didn't want Yukimaru and Koharu to ask me about my decision. But it wasn't Yukimaru or Koharu who appeared before me.
学校まで送るです。
Toka? His clothes were modern, meaning he was visible to everyone around us. Seeing Toka smile at me, for some reason, caused me to take a step back. His smile was so different than his usual one. You don't have to do that. He seemed to see through my fear and took a step toward me.
本当に聖銀大学に行くですか？それがあなたの願いなのですか？
Yes, and I don't want to think about it anymore. I spoke clearly, but even as I did, uncertainty spread through my heart. I tried to get rid of that feeling by smiling. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I thought if I said it like that, he would stop worrying. Instead, his face grew even more somber.
僕はこうなることを予知していました。あなたが母上に寄り添うあまり、自らの人生を諦める未来を。
That's not true. I started to say the words, but stopped. His gaze had clearly changed.
亡き人の思いは、時に聖者を狂わせ、惑わす。誰のことを言っているか、わかりますね。
My mother. She missed my father so much she tried to sacrifice my future in his memory. But my mom said she thought things over last night.
何を言っているのです？狂ったのはあなたですよ。
Toka's smile gave me chills. He's really creeping me out right now. Toka must have noticed my fear, but he didn't seem to care.
亡き人を思うあまり、母上の中に生まれた狂い。それがあなたに連鎖してしまって、あなたの人生は狂い始めました。そうならないよう、僕はあなたを誘うつもりでいたのですが。
My mouth felt dry. I whispered. Lure? Where?
人生を終えた者たちから人生の大切さを知れる。そんな機会を作ろうと思っていたのです。
Those whose lives had passed?
神隠しをご存知か？
I was in total shock. Was Toka intending on spiriting me away? I turned pale and took a few steps back. That's right, Toka is a Tengu. His goal is to give people burdens so they can grow. I felt as though I was seeing his true nature for the first time.
あの神主のおかげで計画が台無しになってしまった。となれば、あのあやかしたちにかけるほかない。あのあやかしたちなら、あなたをいい方向に導くことができるかもしれないと。だが、やはり無理なようだ。
見くびってもらっては困るの。
Someone appeared from behind Toka. Yukimaro! A wave of relief washed over me as I saw Yukimaro's face come into view. Then someone pulled my hand from behind.
ぼさっとしてんじゃねえ。さっさとずらかるぞ。
Koharu!
あとはあいつに任せておけばいい。神に詳しいあいつならどうにかできる。
I looked at Yukimaro, who confidently nodded. 1 second, get a sip of water. I let Koharu pull me, and we started to run. Sorry, I just needed a sip. Koharu understood my fear. He gripped my hand tightly, and we continued running. As much as I appreciated him help me escape, we had run for so long that I was getting out of breath. Koharu saw me wheezing and gave me an exasperated look.
お前もっと体を鍛えた方がいいぞ。若いもんがこれぐらいで息上がってちゃ情けねえだろうが。
Sorry.
とりあえず息を整えろ。ここまで来れば大丈夫だろうからな。
Koharu stopped, and I was finally able to catch my breath. I'm fine now. Thank you. We had run all the way to the entrance of my school. It was still early, and there were barely any students around. Breathe in and out. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Wait, why are we running? We were running away because Toka looked really intense, and it was scaring us. And so Yukimaro was like, I'm gonna make him chill out. And Koharu was like, let's get out of here. We had to skedaddle. Because Toka be like demon eyes. So, yeah. I hastily bowed to Koharu. Thank you for saving me. I looked up and Koharu stared back at me, a glum expression on his face.
なあ、本気なのかよ。進路のこと。
Guess he still wants to talk about what I said in my room. Yes, I already wrote it down on the survey. I'm going to submit it today. Koharu didn't say anything and merely looked down at the ground. Both you and Yukimaro listened to me and helped me out so much. I really appreciate all you two have done for me. If it hadn't been for the two of you, I don't think I could have overcome this challenge.
立ち直ったか。ならどうしてそんな顔してやがる。
Huh? Truthfully, I had no idea how I looked. I thought I was speaking to him normally. How do I look to him?
おととい母親とやり合った時よりもひでえ顔してるぞ。
What? That's not true. It can't be. Don't say that.
事実を言ってるだけだ。あの天然ボケかましてる雪丸でさえ気づいていたぜ。
Please stop.
昨日何があったのか話せ。お前みたいなやつが一人で抱え込んでも。
Just leave me alone. This has nothing to do with you. I couldn't help but shout back at him. Your purpose is to haunt me, right, Koharu? That's your job, right? Then why are you doing the complete opposite of that? I didn't want to say those words to him. But again, my emotions got the best of me, and I couldn't stop the rage from pouring out of me. Oh my gosh, look at his cranky... I'm not saying I like go out of my way to like make boys look cranky, but I don't mind a cranky face sometimes. Look at that cranky face. L worker getting good. Causing anxiety is a part of haunting, right? Right? Yeah. Maybe. Surprisingly, Koharu said nothing in return. His expression just turned even more stern. The scowl of disapproval. I don't want to be like scowled at, but like I do like a yeah. But I think it's not that he has pouty baby girl face. He's got like I guess that does sound pouty. Intense gaze. Just like, I'm mad at you. I'm not disgusted at you. I'm mad at you. Yet there was no anger in his face. Rather, he seemed sad or even disorientated. Seeing him like that stopped me in my tracks. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I guess I should be haunting you. And then he gets real scary and crazy. He quietly mumbled and turned around to walk away from me. Please wait. Koharu stopped. I didn't mean that. It's just... I didn't know what to say after that. In the end, I just let the silence drag on. Standing there alone, I wanted to cry. Koharu turned around, walked back to me, and patted me on the head.
お前がじっくり考えて出した答えを否定するような言い方をした。悪かったな。
Oh, he's so... How could he be so kind? He gently patted my head and my heart grew warm. It made me want to cry even more. I meant it when I said you guys saved me. I really did. You're such a kind person. I'd been lying to myself before. I was surprised when the truth escaped my lips. I realized I was only telling myself I was okay. Koharu laughed suddenly.
人じゃねえ。あやかしだ。
His smile made me feel a little relieved. I felt a sense of happiness return to me. Don't worry about me. But say it like New York. Don't worry about it. Hey, don't worry about it. Forget about it. I'll be alright, so please don't worry anymore. I called out to him since I didn't want to worry him anymore. But Koharu didn't answer. He only smiled wryly back at me. No matter what I do, I think Koharu's still going to worry about me. After talking with Koharu, I noticed a few students starting to arrive. Then a familiar face approached. Oh, morning! Sayaka stood in front of us. She looked dumbfounded, staring at Koharu without saying a word. Koharu seemed annoyed and began muttering to himself. Oh, that's right. Sayaka's always using the spirit board, so Koharu's met her many times already. But given how much she was staring at Koharu, I knew I had to introduce them to each other. Sayaka, this is my friend, Koharu. I thought carefully as I introduced him, but Koharu's expression looked surprised. He immediately whispered to me.
友達ってのは厳しいだろ。
Well, I can't tell her you're a spirit who's haunting me, can I?
まあ、それはそうだが。
Sayaka looked confused, but seemed to believe it easily. She smiled instantly.
こんなイケメンが友達にいるなんて聞いてないぞ。
Huh? Hot? Bold, Sayaka. I like it. I couldn't help but stare at Koharu. I've only really ever thought of him as the spirit board, but looking at him now, I guess he is pretty attractive.
見
まあ見とれるのもわかるけどさ。
Sayaka, stop! I started to feel embarrassed. I stuck a glance at Koharu, and his cheeks looked flushed too. Wait, you see the potential. Can I do a Deku voice? Deku? Okay, is Deku from My Hero Academia? Because if so, I haven't really watched that one. That's the only Deku I can think of. Or those like Dekus in Zelda. But I don't know what he sounds like, so I don't know. I don't know if I can. Sorry. I'll look him up later. and yeah. But I wouldn't even know what... I don't even know what to say. Like, what do they say in My Hero Academia? Like, yeah. I'll look it up. I'll look up some, like, catchphrases. He sounds... Oh, like my handsome voice? Oh. That's nice. Well, I appreciate that. Let's see.
それじゃあな。
Okay. Okay, Heiko. Yeah, let me write that down. I will definitely look that up after stream tonight. Thank you. Deku cringe compilation. That's so funny. VA arc soon. I wouldn't mind. It would be awesome if I could. I think it would be hard work, but yeah. Well, and I think it would be... You'd have to be more careful now more than ever because of all the AI stuff. Because I know that there's a lot of like people, groups that are lobbying, you know, in favor of VAs should get paid for their work. They absolutely should. And companies should not be allowed to exploit them by, you know, saying that, like, by basically taking their voice and repurposing it for other projects. Yeah. Pay actors. Exactly. Flashbacks of Pixel Drink Deku resurfacing. Also, I will write that down too, because I don't know what any of these things are. Like I said, I know... Let's see. Who else do I know? I know Deku's name. I don't know the other characters. I know what they look like, though. I know that there's, like, some kind of, like, half ghost girl. And I know that there's, like, one bad guy who it's, like, you feel bad. It's not really his fault he's a bad guy. Just got, you know, kind of the short end of the stick. And that's, you know, that's that. Yeah. And then a bunch of blondies. Like, a bunch of big buff blondies. But then I start, like, mixing things up too hard. If it's just kind of like, okay, big blondie. And then I think about, like, the guy from, like, One Piece. And I was like, I know that One Piece guy is not in My Hero. Oh, as a side note, I have not watched the live-action One Piece. But it's on my... I would like to watch it. But the new season is coming out. And there's, like, a lot of buzz around the actor who plays Zoro in the live action one, because apparently he got buff, like super buff. And like he was showing like a behind the scenes thing, and everyone was just like, whoa, this guy got like super jacked. So Pixel Drink made a lot of cringe voice skits of My Hero Academia characters, but mostly Deku and Bakugo. Okay, Bakugo is a name I've heard before. Yeah. I should. I've heard lots of good things about My Hero Academia. I just on the list of things. Oh, he's canceled now? Oh. Wait, Pixel Drink is canceled? Or Deku is canceled? Pixel Drink, yeah? Oh, okay, sorry. Pixel Drink, okay. I didn't know this was a person. I thought this was like, you know, like a Monster Energy drink or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that is like kind of the, I mean, hashtag not all YouTubers or, but I feel like there is just a subset of people that is just kind of like, the bigger they get, the more outrageous they feel like they have to be, and then they finally hit that line where it's just like, oh, that's too far. That's too far. Oh, pick you. Yeah. Yeah, give that person the boot. Good for, yeah. That's who we should be canceling. Predators, cancel. Yeah. Gross. Yeah. Yeah, I know that feels really bad, but it's just kind of like, it's like, it's sad that like when news like that happens, like I don't even know who this person is, but like it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, like not, oh, it's like, I'm sad that people are not surprised. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sad that it's happening, number one, but that it's just kind of like, oh, because I feel like that would be the case if somebody was just like, do you know blah, blah, blah got canceled? And it's like, did they do something really inappropriate around kids and stuff? And they're just kind of like, yeah, how did you know? It's like, I just put my money on it, I guess, Not a bad, a bad bet, but a money-making bet. Yeah. Bury him under jail. Yeah. Gross. Well, like, I'm glad he got caught. And I'm glad that everyone was just like, yeah, you can GTFO. Bye. Bye. Ugh. I just don't. Blech. Blech. That's what I think about that. What a creepo. Alright. Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know that. Yeah. Blech. I'm just gonna say one, like, side tangent, because, like, well, no, I won't, but moving on. See, bruh, why are some internet people look at the graveyard of people interacting with kids in an 18 plus kind of way and think, you know what, I'll never get caught and will never ruin my career and life like all these. Yeah, it's just kind of like, it's like it's a dumb idea, period, the end. Like, it is a dumb idea, and like, to think that you're like, it's like, this idea that's very, very dumb, I'm gonna do it and it's gonna end up different, and it's like, what? Get out of here. Yeah, that's crazy. People don't make no sense, man. But you know what? In that sense, I'm glad that they are dumb and it's kind of working as a self-report. That's, you know what? At least we kind of like see them immediately for who they are. That's a very, it's like, okay, I know what to do with you. Yeah. It's nice when the trash takes itself out. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just be a funny haha content creator and a millionaire. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, all this money, what if I just burned it? Yeah. Ugh. I don't know. Like I said, I am glad that they got caught, and yeah. Trash taking itself out. Yeah, let's go. All right. Moving on. Koharu spoke curtly and walked off.
小春さんって照れ屋なんだね。顔が真っ赤だったよ。
Being a good person is easier than they want you to think it is. I know. I don't understand why this is such hard math. It's just like, like, we don't have, like, it's all, like, there is a way to interact in this world without being an absolute garbage person. Absolutely. Yeah, because you called him hot, Sayaka?
だって本当にそう思ったんだもん。いいなあ、羨ましい。
He's not my boyfriend.
未来の彼氏になるかもよ。
I highly doubt it. I mean, he's a spirit. I'm not allowed to view him romantically, right? Despite telling myself that, I noticed my heart rate was elevated. I entered the school with Sayaka, swapped into my indoor shoes, and took out the survey from my bag.
それって進路のプリント？
Sayaka peered in and asked, Yeah, I decided. I'm going to Seigin University.
本
Yeah, really? As soon as she heard me say that, Sayaka flashed me a giant smile. Her eyes glimmered. She looked elated.
考えるって言ってたから不安だったけど、よかった。
Anxious?
これで一緒に大学に通えるね。
Right.
本当に嬉しい。キャンパスライフを楽しもうぜ。
Can I do a Sayaka voice? I can try. I'm so happy. I don't know if I could do it justice though. She's so cute. Oh, I see. You've got ads going on anyways. And oh no, an AI ad? Rude. Ugh. Yeah, thumbs down ads and thumbs down AI ads. Sorry you had to go through that, Heiko, but I appreciate that you sat through it. That is how this goes sometimes. Sorry about that, but yeah, double struggle. I know. It hurt us. It was just like, oh, you're talking trash about AI? Let me send all my AI friends to say more things about AI. I was like, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited too. For some reason, Sayaka's elated outburst suddenly stopped, and I cocked my head in confusion. Screw that noise, yeah. Huh? What's the
だって
matter?
あなた全然笑ってないよ。
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I think... Okay, I think I expressed, I have been having like a bit of a dilemma about AI. Like, my stance is strong. I don't like AI for, like, I don't like it for designers. I don't like people's artwork being stolen. I don't like the idea of somebody monetizing things off of the backs of other people who actually did the work. I'm down with that. I think there need to be a lot more protections for artists and their works. So in that sense, like, yeah, I'm like thumbs down. But I can appreciate like AI for other aspects of like, let's see, streamlining specific like, you know, redundant things that you do over and over again, that can minimize, like things that can fix your workflow. I'm super, you know, on board with that. I have a lot of friends who are in the medical industry, and they talk about like having to do soap notes for all of their, you know, all of their patients that come in and stuff like that. And it's just like, if they can, you know, if they can like cut down the amount of time, you know, for, you know, this thing that's like important to make sure they make the notes, like they put the notes in and it kind of gives like a bit of a summary, that kind of stuff. Like if they could streamline that a little bit better, absolutely. And then that gives them more time to like really take time with their patients and you know, if it can build in time like that, I'm all for it. Yeah. Heiko, you're feeling too happy in the stream? Yay! Well, I appreciate hearing that, but I get it. If it's too much sensory overload and you need to go play League, go for it. Green Yoshi, you personally don't like generative AI chatbots and overview bots. Apparently Gmail has an AI overview and you hate how invasive it feels. Ooh, that is kind of scary because that means it's scouring all your emails in order to do that. Yeah. Let's see. Surrounded by poets, your concern is always on people. If AI can help people, like detecting cancers and streamlining tedious tasks, It should be used for that. If it is hurting people and violating their creativity, it sucks. Yeah, exactly. I think we're in the same, boat. I think as far as like chatbots, I think that there are a couple of things about chatbots that I'm on the fence about, or that I'm still kind of like forming my idea around, because I do see a place of value, because it does highlight, a social and emotional connection point, that is missing for people, right? And so I think in that sense, it's important. Do I think is it AI's job? No. Do I think AI has it figured out? No, definitely not. But it's like, but if there was an interim something, I feel like there's something to it. I mean, because like if we were to ever, like, so we do kind words pretty often, right? Every week. And there's a lot of times where people will write in a letter of a thing that they're struggling with or having a tough time with. And they're just like, I don't have enough money for therapy. And like, I understand the dilemma, So let's see. You hate how AI is used to moderate too. Oh, yeah. Heiko's, so we do have a Discord. It is for, I'm mainly an Iriam streamer, so it's for fan badgers on Iriam, but I would open it up for, like, subs as well in Twitch. But yeah, it is a closed Discord at this time, so, or private Discord, we'll say. Chatbots are an imperfect solution to a human connectivity void that needs to be filled. Exactly. Yeah, it's mostly fan badging, but I would open it up for Twitch. I think that's because not everybody's on Iriam, so I get that. But yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I feel like there's something there. I just don't know the what, or like the how. Yeah. Because I do think that people are very, like people do need a sounding board. Because, admittedly, I've definitely had moments where it's just kind of like, I've had to like ask, not had to, I chose to. But there were like a couple times where it's on par with being like, does this sound crazy? Am I crazy? And I get that, like, it's like any other interaction with a person. Like, if you are heavily manipulating how you say the thing, what information you give it, of course you are going to get a very manipulated answer. And so it is kind of like an or like, it's only as good as you. This tool is only as good as you. Mochi, you leave it, please. Mochi says hi. Oh my gosh. So, the little kid next door, they really like Mochi. They like whenever they see Mochi, they want to play. Well, that little kid has a little friend that lives across the street. It's a little girl, and she's very sweet. She's very shy, and apparently she's very afraid of dogs. But she has been liking throwing the ball to Mochi. Not the dog to the ball, but to the ball to Mochi. Mochi intensifies. So anyways, they played today, but they got too excited. They kept bringing tennis balls out. Like, I already had a ball for Mochi, and they were like, oh, let's play ball with Mochi. So they ran and got a tennis ball. And so the little boy got one, and she's just like, I want to play. I want to throw it too. And he's like, I'll get you your own ball. So he goes and gives her a ball. And then, and that's already like Mochi was just overstimulated. She didn't know which ball to like go after. It made her like really, really excited, and she's just like and then they kept like throwing the ball over on the other side of the fence, and then they went and got a third another ball, and I was like, okay guys, this is too many tennis balls for Mochi. She can only do so much. And they're little kids, so they don't know. I was like, okay, we gotta go. Yeah. It's sweet. It's very sweet, and I'm happy. I'm happy Mochi likes kids and likes to play with them, and I hope that happy that they like her too. But sometimes it is just kind of like, all right. I mean, Mochi. I think I've told y'all that when Mochi protests, she'll go no bones. So, like, if she knows that I'm like, okay, it's time for us to go, and she's just like, no, I'm not going to go. And then I walk over like I'm going to go pick her up, she'll go no bones. So that it makes it harder for me to scoop her up. And it's like, ugh. She's kind of bratty, but it's cute, though. It's cute. It's cute because it's like, I'm still way bigger than you, and like, you going no bones does not do the thing you think. It's probably you know what? It's probably how bears laugh at humans who pretend that they're dead. That's probably... I'm the bear. I'm sure they're just like, oh, you silly human. You just made it easier for me. Thank you. Yeah. If Mochi were to just like straight up run from me, that would be more of a pain in the butt. But she's just like, no, I'll collapse. I'm like, okay. I felt my face stiffen. I feel like Koharu said something similar to me earlier. I felt an ache in my heart and tried to calm down. I covered it up with a forced smile. I'm just nervous because I'm about to go visit the staff room to submit it. You know how there's so many teachers there? Obviously they'd be there, right?
そうだよね。私も緊張しちゃってやばいよ。
She played along, but Sayaka's expression still looked concerned. Well, I'm gonna go turn it in, okay?
うん。
Sayaka's smile was completely gone as she waved me off, and I escaped to the staff room. I wanted to be sure to catch my teacher before homeroom started and found him in the faculty room.
お母さんから聞いていたが、本当にいいのか?
My homeroom teacher asked, looking through my survey answers with a confused look on his face. Yes, it's what I want to do.
それならいいが、まだこれで決定というわけではないから、よく考えなさい。
Why is everyone trying to talk me out of this? Feeling like I'd lose my nerve, I tightly clenched my fist. Did the Arthur clench in my fist. Then class began. Our teacher continued to speak, but I wasn't listening to a word he said. I stared out the window and sighed. I was stressing so much about the survey, but now that I'd turned it in, I didn't feel any better. Everyone's voices echoed in my head.
昨日何があったのか話せ。お前みたいなやつが一人で抱え込んでも。
だってあなた全然笑ってないよ。
That's true. If everyone is telling us this is a bad idea, it's worth reflecting on. For sure.
それならいいが、まだこれで決定というわけではないから、よく考えなさい。
Don't ask me. Don't worry about me. Don't give me that look. I worried that if I were to talk about it, if I showed my true feelings, if I thought about it, my resolve would crumble. That means you're not that
亡き人を
resolved.
思うあまり、母上の中に生まれた狂い。
Yeah, if the mere thought of it, the mere like conversation around it, if it would crumble your resolve, you do not have resolve. I think that's the walking away point. Yeah. That's the point we should all bear in mind. I mean, I would feel that way about anything, you know. We talk about that with like relationships and friendships and connections, concepts, all sorts of concepts that it's just kind of like, if one conversation was enough to like it's okay to like question things. It's okay to consider and reconsider things. Anything that makes you question it, if you really think about it, you You run, you have the chance of like, oh, I guess I didn't feel as strongly about this. Or the other way where it's like, well, I feel even more resolute about this. I thought about it and I considered this and I still came to this conclusion. I think that that's very lovely.
それがあなたに連鎖してしまって、あなたの人生は狂い始めました。
I truly felt scared when Toka said that. But the fear was as much of him as it was from the words themselves. My life is starting to go astray? That can't be right. I miss my father, of course, but it's different from my mother's grief. I just want to make her happy.
ちょっと
Sayaka was sitting nearby, desperately trying to get my attention. I gasped. It seemed the teacher had called on me. I soon realized everyone was staring at me.
一色、どうしたんだ。早く前に出てきて問題を解きなさい。
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I rushed to stand up and was honest.
先生、一色さん今朝から体調が悪かったんです。
The teacher gave me a stern look, but softened upon hearing Sayaka's explanation.
ああ、そうだったのか。それなら保健室に行って。
No,
さ、行こう。私が付き添うから。
Before I could refuse, Sayaka was on her feet. She pulled my hand and swiftly escorted me out of the room. Sorry I made you lie. I immediately apologized as soon as we left. Sayaka smiled.
授業をサボれてラッキーだったよ。
My guilty conscience eased just a little. I'm so glad you're in my class, Sayaka.
ちょっと、私は便利屋じゃないんだからね。でも、同じクラスなのが嬉しいのは、あなたがいないと私ダメだからさ。ほら、昔あったじゃない。
Hearing that, I thought back to when we were in junior high. Our parents were friends, so we both applied for the same local private school. Despite getting accepted, Sayaka and I wound up in separate classes. In elementary school, Sayaka had many friends. She was always smiling, but at junior high, she just couldn't fit in. For a time, she got so stressed about it. Back then, Sayaka was like a different person. She was so gloomy.
あの時、あなたが気にしてくれてさ。休み時間になるとクラスに来てくれてたよね。あなたがいると心が強くなって通い続けることができたんだ。だから大学も一緒だって分かってすごく嬉しかったよ。
I felt a sharp pang of guilt in my heart. I'm truly happy to attend the same college as Sayaka, but
一緒に受験を乗り切ろうね。
Right. I think my smile was better this time. I'm gonna need to keep smiling like this. I better get used to it. I've got to be able to smile on command. No. It's like that fortune teller told me. It's like you're smiling on the outside, but not on the inside. People can see that. Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of times we all think like we're holding it together. We've got this. Nobody would ever suspect, and really, it's just right below the surface. And all somebody has to do is be like, "Is everything okay?" For you to be like, "Ah, "It's not." I didn't feel like returning to class, so I rested a little on the bed in the nurse's office. I don't have class in the afternoon due to the school scheduling, but I knew I had to get it together. Yet all I could do was lay flat on the bed. I couldn't bring myself to stand up.
失礼します。うちのクラスの一色がいると聞いたんですが。
Oh, is that my homeroom teacher?
ああ、いますよ。今ベッドで休んでいます。
Hearing the teachers back and forth, I rushed to open the curtain. Sorry, I feel much better now. My teacher seemed relieved to hear that.
心配だったから。念のためお家に連絡しておいたからな。
Oh, but my mom's working right now. I'll just let my mom know when I get home.
いや、 親戚の方が電話に出てくれたぞ。ちょうど訪ねてきているんだろ。
Huh? I don't think so. My family didn't tell me anything.
そうなのか。おかしいな。男性が電話に出たんだが。
Oops, I skipped it.
そうなのか。おかしいな。男性が電話に出たんだが、学校まで迎えに来るとのことだったぞ。
A man? Oh shit. What? No way. You kids stop making out back there. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I've read enough BL where it's just kind of like that the nurse is even in the nurse's office is kind of, you know. It's like I just feel like that's always an unattended room. It's like nurses don't do shit in schools. Because that's where everybody does, you know, whatever. So, I don't know. Unless the alternative, the only time there's a nurse in the nurse's office is if it's one of those kind of stories where the nurse, male or a female nurse, is part of activities. So I laughed dryly in my head, but felt an immediate sense of foreboding.
やーやー、この我が今ここに迎えに来てやったぞ、めいっ子よ。
No. Please don't tell me he answered the phone. Couldn't it at least have been Koharu? Because of the conversation we'd just had, my teacher looked at me dubiously. Nurse is too busy being the headmaster's mistress to watch the infirmary. Is this really your uncle? Was what his eyes seemed to ask. Perhaps he was worried that it was merely someone posing as my relative. Uncle! What are you doing here? I decided to play along. After hearing me confirm the man's identity, my teacher looked really relieved.
病に倒れたと聞いて心配での。さあ、病院へ行こう。
Well, it's not that bad.
ほうほう。病院へ行くのは本意ではない。
You don't want to go to the people hospital? Invaders, I am government, man. Come from the government. Those are government pigs.
まさか、仮病であったか?
I wanted to kill him. He sounds like he's overacting on purpose. Why did he accuse me of faking my illness? And did he say people hospital? It was as... Oh, there's a missing one. It was as if... It was like he was taking this out on me for deciding to go to med school without talking to him. I replied with gritted teeth. No, Uncle, I wasn't faking. This just isn't bad enough for me to go to the hospital.
ご挨拶が遅れました。私、一式の担任の。
My teacher started to introduce himself, cutting the tension between Yukimaru and I. I ended up taking the rest of the day off, and Yukimaru and I left the school together. After that, Yukimaru just stomped off in front of me. It felt so awkward to call out to him as we walked in silence. I'm not mistaking it, am I? He seems mad. Thank you for coming to pick me up, but from now on, you don't really have to pick up our phone. I finally gathered the courage to speak to Yukimaru, and he finally stopped walking. He turned around sharply.
主様、ひどいのだ。どうして一人で進路を決めてしまう?
So he is mad about that.
どうして一人で母上とのことを折り合いをつける?
It's true that having you hear me out helped me a lot, but now this is about me and my future. I'll be okay, I promise. Just as I resolved earlier, I immediately showed my smile to him. But my smile did not make Yukimaru relieved. Rather, it made him look really sad.
我はそんなに 頼りにならぬのか？
No, of course not. I promise that's not true. I reactively grabbed Yukimaro's hand. Thanks to you and Koharu, I was able to talk with my mom, and she supported me, so I'm okay, really. I couldn't explain myself well. All I could do was repeat myself. If I went into detail, I worried that I might reveal my true feelings.
ならば何故なのだ？何故そんなにも悲しげな気を放っておる？
Huh? Aura? Could he really see my aura?
とりあえずじゃ。天狗が言うておったことは気にしなくてよい。ただ、あやつも主様のことを思っておるのは事実。やりすぎではあるがな。
I recalled how Toka acted this morning, and my expression turned glum again.
安心せ。天狗はおとなしくなる。何せ、主様に対して力が使えないのだからな。
Thank you for coming in to protect me earlier, and I'm sorry it took me so long to thank you. With that, Yukimaro smiled. Toka. I didn't know how I would react the next time I saw him. I'm honestly scared of him.
あやつのこと分かってやれとは言わぬ。だが避けてやるな。あやつなりに主様を心配しておるのだ。
Oh. I'd been so focused on my fear of Toka, I had forgotten. When I was talking with Mom last night, he was by my side. He was anxious about my future too.
ついでに我のことも避けてくれるな。
I wasn't. That's when I remembered. His role as my guardian spirit was to make me happy. Yukimaro, I'm not stressed anymore. I'm very happy, so please.
嘘をつくでない。我は主様の気が見えるのだぞ。我は座敷わらしとして主様を幸せにすると決めておる。必ずやその悲しみを晴らし、主様の気を幸福の色にしてみせようぞ。
I wanted to assure him that he didn't have to worry about me, but his words were firm. Seeing how determined he was, it made me feel so... How did it make me feel? I said I'm fine. Trying to shut him down only seemed to make him even more stubborn. I told you I'm fine. I was getting defensive, but it only made Yukimaro dig in his heels even more.
大丈夫ではないのだ。暗い色の気が主様を覆っておるのだぞ。
Guess I can't hide my feelings from a spirit. I gave up on trying to fight him and sighed. Yukimaro flashed me a triumphant smile. Gosh, I couldn't help but give a wry smile in return. I just couldn't stay mad at him. Yukimaro, save us from ourselves! Well, there's no point in arguing like this. Why don't we just head home? In response, Yukimaro just shook his head.
今の主様に必要なのは気分転換じゃ。
Oops.
今の主様に必要なのは気分転換じゃ。出かけてきてはどうだ？
But I've already skipped school. I don't think I could do that.
言いたいこともわかるが、主様の体調不良は心から来ておるのだぞ。それならば、家で休むよりも外での気分転換が一番の薬なのだ。
Wow, he sure is perceptive.
保護者である我が許可を出しておるのだ。おれ、行ってこい。
He's not really my guardian, but I realized protesting further would be no use, and I decided to just do as he said. All right. probably something with Toka. Let me see. Yep, maybe I'll go to the park. Toka. Having parted with Yukimaru, I decided to go towards Beachfront Park. I came to the beach to enjoy the sea breeze. But when I spotted Toka, my heart jumped. Instinctively, I thought of hiding, but we were in a totally open space. As I panicked, not knowing what to do, Toka noticed me. I jumped back in fear.
今朝はごめんなさい。雪丸さんと話して考えを改めたです。
Toka seemed regretful, and he cowered slightly as he spoke.
僕、雪丸さんや小春さんと一緒にあなたを支えたいです。で、だから、これからもそばにいさせてくださいです。
No. I stared at Toka, trying to gauge his emotions. He wasn't scary like he was before, and his words seemed genuine. He looked remorseful for what he'd done. I know Toka truly wants the best for me. I slowly put my hand on Toka's shoulder. It's okay now. I understand you did all this because you were thinking about me.
ありがとうございます。
But that said, even if you do get your powers back, I don't want you to ever think about spiriting me away, okay? Toka nodded, and I let out a large sigh.
僕こそが巨児だったみたいです。
That's not true. I mean, you were very scary this morning, but it's not the point. Not at the point where I thought you were a burden. Just a murderer. Just thought you were going to murder us and kidnap us. Toka let out a bitter laugh and looked off into the distance.
教示を与えることで人々の支えになっていると思っています。でも好きな人には違う形で手を差し伸べたい。
Oh.
そう気づかされました。
My heart skipped a beat. He looked so fondly at me. It was as though I could feel the depth of his emotions in his eyes. Then I swiftly let go of his shoulder and tried to change the subject. Okay, we're friends again. Let's talk about something else. Now, what should we talk about? God. God save the queen. There you go. You're a type of god called a Tengu, right? Does that mean there are a lot of other kinds of gods?
ですです。いろんな神がいすぎてバラエティに富んでるです。
There was an anime series. Oh gosh, what was it called? It was about this middle school girl who ended up becoming a god, and it was really cute. Yeah, I liked it a lot. Give me 1 second. Something is happening. Okay, give me a second. I need to pause my story. I feel like I'm gonna turn on the light. 1 second. Okay. All good, all good. I just saw something flash in the corner of my eye out the window, and I didn't like that, so I sorted it out. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, it's this girl who's like in middle school who ends up finding out that she's like a god. And let me look for it. It's Kami-sama something. Kami-sama. It's not Kami-sama Kiss. Middle school girl. Kamichu. Kamichu. Okay. It's super cute, and it kind of goes into like talking about, I guess with Shinto, I think it's the Shinto belief that that everything has like a spirit of some kind, because she ends up like crossing over, like not crossing over like dying, but like she goes into the gods world, and there's just all these like things, like just normal inanimate objects, but now they're in like god form. So like there's a god of like, you know, like this like crumpled garbage and like just like normie stuff, and like, you know, a Walkman or something like that. It's just like, you know, old-timey things that it's like it had a spirit and now it's, you know, kind of retired because nobody's using it or whatever. So yeah, but it was actually a really cute show. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Did I finish it? If I didn't, I'll try again. I'll look for it on Crunchyroll. It's yeah, I liked it. Wow, that many? So does that mean you have opportunities to interact with other gods?
あるですよ。よくあなたのことで相談している恋愛に関する神様がいるです。
Watch along? Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay. Kamichi watch along. Let me see how many episodes that is, because I'm down for it, but I don't want to like commit anybody to like you know, Bleach or like One Piece level, like watch along forever. Kamichu, how many episodes? I want to say it's short-ish. 16 episodes total. Oh, 12 originally broadcast episodes and 4 additional episodes released on DVD. I don't think I've seen that, honestly, so we'll have to see. But yeah. Huh?
ど
About
うし
me?
たらあなたに気づいてもらえるか、どうしたらあなたと目が合うか、どうしたらあなたと。
Oh, Toka has such a crush on us. What? About other gods? I'll get way too embarrassed at this rate.
他ですか？同じ天狗の神くらいしか交流はないです。
What? There are more? Toka wants us. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
すべての人間に等しく矜持を与えるには、一族で家業として行わないと手が足りないですからね。
The clan that just deals with mortals? That sounds like one big family.
ですです。兄弟の顔も名前もすべて覚えてられないです。でも、みんなとっても僕に似てるとか。
Whoa, a whole tribe of Tokas? Lolli? 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 Why? 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 Why?
大好きです。
Lolli, 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 or it's like minions. I don't know what minions sound like.
愛してるです。あなたのためならば。
Why? 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 All of Toka wants all of us.
どうしたです？
Nothing. That was horrific. If something were to happen and I have to meet Toka's family, I'm a little scared about what that would look like. Oh man, but if this was an anime series, that would be the funniest episode. Meeting the wacky family, that's a anime trope. I returned home to find Mom in the living room getting ready for dinner. I quickly changed and went downstairs to help my mom get dinner ready. I didn't want to bring up yesterday, but I also wanted to put her at ease. Hey Mom, we love our tropes. Just as I was about to tell her about my career decision, the doorbell rang.
あら、誰か来たみたいね。
My mom hurried to the door. Aw, man, I was so close to telling her. Having missed my chance, I couldn't help but feel resentful to whoever was at the door.
友達が来ているわよ。さあ、どうぞ上がってください。
My friend? That was not how my mom would greet Sayaka. Then who?
いやはや、これは申し訳ない。遠慮なくお邪魔いたす。
That voice. No. I went to the living room and saw Yukimaru standing with my mother. Please don't tell me he's barging in like this to visit me. In complete shock, I froze. Then I heard my mother whisper to me.
ちょっと年上のお友達がいるなんて聞いてなかったわよ。しかも男性だなんて。
He's... Confused, I hesitated. Just then, Koharu in spirit form appeared. Quickly surmising the situation, he motioned toward me.
おい、こりゃどうなってんだよ。
That's my line. I just heard the doorbell ring and this guy shows up. I stepped away from Mom and Yukimaru to whisper to Koharu. Yukimaru, oblivious to us, kept chatting with my mom.
彼女の進路相談に乗っていての。学校ではボランティアでそういった分野の相談役をしておるのだ。
あら、そうだとは思わずすみません。先ほどお友達だと伺ったものですから。今日は進路のことでしょうか。
決めかねているというので参考になる資料を届けに寄ったのだ。
Huh? Why is he doing this? Wait, but I've already... I started to interject, but Koharu grabbed my arm, stopping me from saying more.
雪丸もバカじゃない。あいつが何をしようとしているのか、様子見するのがいい。
But...
あいつが妙なことを言ったら、俺が止めに入る。だから今は黙って見ていろ。
Is that an order? He nodded, unhesitating. Okay. I can't believe he just showed up like this. What's he gonna say to my mom? I gasped when I realized. Wait, this timing was just too perfect. Did he come to prevent me from telling my mom about my decision?
良い匂いがするの。食事時だったとは気づかず申し訳ない。我は貧乏な大学生でなかなか手料理には恵まれず、彼女が羨ましい限りじゃ。
I glowered at Yukimaru, but my mom giggled. She seemed tickled by his painfully obvious ploy.
よかったら召し上がっていかれませんか。娘がお世話になっていますし、お礼も兼ねてそうさせてください。
Mom?
もう急に大きな声を出さないでちょうだい。さあ、お客様を待たせてはいけないわ。お皿出して。
I hope in the true route, Yukimaru and the mom. I'm your new stepdad, but remember, it can't, in the UK, it cannot go further than that. She totally fell for it, and I glared at Yukimaru. He giggled, unbothered. I sat at the dinner table with Yukimaru and my mom. I can't believe this is actually happening. Watching Yukimaru praise the meal, I felt lethargic yet anxious, unsure of what he might say next.
私も進路相談に乗ってもらってもいいかしら。
When my mom initiated the conversation, I felt a lump build up in my throat.
何でも聞くがよいぞ。
Why is he acting like this? Overwhelmed with emotion, all I could do was sit and watch.
この子はどんな分野が向いているか、私にはわからなくて。
Mom, we're out of soy sauce.
今日は使わないでしょ。
So much for trying to change the subject. Yukimaru crossed his arms, choosing his words carefully. Please don't say anything stupid. I was afraid because he could read my aura. He could tell my mom what I was thinking.
見極めるのはまだ早計である。彼女の年齢で決まっている方が珍しいくらいじゃ。若いうちは興味のある分野の学問を学び、友との青春を楽しみ、いろいろな経験を積むのがいい。そのうちに見えてくるだろう。己の進むべき道が。だから焦らずに今を謳歌してほしいと我は思う。
I didn't expect him to say that. Yukimaru's gaze was kind. I felt embarrassed for doubting him. It seemed he really did care about me and my future. Realizing this, I fell silent. If my future was like that, that would be wonderful, actually. Yeah, don't make us ask you to clarify your age, boy. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like, well, if, you know, if the mom has a cougar moment and ends up with Yukimaru instead, then it's not a problem, you know. Then that's not a problematic age gap. Because I'm guessing he's a fully formed adult and the mother is too, and it's two consenting adults. Yeah, I want her to be in her cougar era. He's just like, oh, you want your mom to like move on and be happy? I can arrange that. If my future was like that, that would be wonderful, actually. All the doubts I had tried to suppress came rushing back.
この子は姉とは違って自分をあまり出しません。きっと私が押さえつけていたからそうなってしまって。
Mom? What? That's not true. I chose this path myself. It's why I studied so hard.
いいえ、医学の道へ進むよう常に言っていたわ。あなたにすり込ませるようにして。それが原因で夢を持てずにいたのよ。
My mom's face was expressionless, just like last night. Unable to bear it, I looked away.
雪丸さんの言うような形になれば、この子も夢を持てるのかもしれないですね。
Mom set her chopsticks down and bowed deeply to Yukimaru.
これからも相談に乗ってやってください。よろしくお願いします。
任せてもらえて我も嬉しく思う。
Yukimaru's response was firm and confident. I let their words echo in my mind. The doubts I had intensified. I made that decision for my mom. I thought I knew what I wanted, and yet I felt myself wavering. After I returned to my room, I let out a big sigh. I had no more energy and dove into bed. I'm so tired. Though sharing a meal with Yukimaru was lively, I couldn't deny the whole thing was emotionally draining.
あのあやかしもなかなかいいことをするです。
I heard a voice and quickly sat up. Bedtime. Wink. Toka was standing beside me. He gave a gentle, apologetic smile.
今朝は怖がらせてしまってごめんなさいです。僕
It's okay. You did it for my sake, right? Toka nodded timidly. Then he sat down next to me.
雪丸さんはあなたに最後の時を与えました。
None of you pull an Edward Cullen on us? Being 100 years old? Yeah. I don't know, man. Let me think. I mean, really? Koyo is probably the most age appropriate. Yeah, Koyo and then Senna too. Hibiki-ish? I mean, Hibiki's the Edward Cullen. Because he's a high school student. But he's been in that mirror for a while. What do you mean by that?
誰に左右されることのないあなただけの進みたい道を決めるその時間です。
Huh?
僕もですが雪丸さんも分かっているです。あなたが提出した進路プリントは偽りだと。
Yes, it is.
それならどうしてまっすぐに目を見て言えないんですか？今日提出をした進路プリントは決定ではないですし、母上もまだ知るところではありません。今の僕はあなたにとって神でも何でもないです。だから言葉で助言を与えるです。
Toka took a deep breath.
これから言うことを 心して聞きなさい。
I couldn't read people's auras like Yukimaro. However, I felt shift in Toka's demeanor as he spoke to me.
昨夜と先ほどの母上の表情、あれはあなたの思っているようなものではない。母に寄り添うあまり目が曇っていると見える。母の瞳で見ようとするな。考えすぎず、あなたが今考えるべきなのは己自身のこと。
Yeah, you going to med school does not bring your dad back for your mom, unfortunately.
自身の気持ちを無視していてはいけない。そろそろ自由に物事を考える時なのだと気づくのがいいだろう。
He said he wasn't speaking as a god, but his demeanor certainly was that of a god.
こいつに随分と甘い神様だな。
I hadn't noticed Koharu enter. He watched us from the corner and smiled.
小春さんこそです。扉の外でこちらの様子を伺っていたくせに。
Toka's demeanor shifted back to normal as he shot back at Koharu. You were eavesdropping?
ですです。僕が今朝みたいにあなたを怖がらせないか見張っていたです。
くそ、余計なこと言うんじゃねえよ。
赤くなった赤くなった。小春さんは照れ屋さんですね。
てめえ、神だからって調子に乗るんじゃねえぞ。
おや、神に逆らっていいと思ってるですか？
Their playful banter made me laugh. I loved seeing them like this. Now that I think about it, the liveliest of the bunch isn't here. I looked around. Yukimaro hasn't been back since he disguised himself as a human. I hope he comes back soon. Despite a lot of stress, I had so many people who gave me advice and support. That alone put me at ease.
わあ、そうだ。あなたに残念なお知らせがあるです。
What is it?
先ほど姉上が帰宅されたんですけど、あー腹減ったと言って冷蔵庫を開けて、あなたのプリンを手に取り逡巡した後、まあいいかと食べようとしていたのをお知らせしておくです。
How dare she? What? That was a limited edition parfait pudding! I flew out of the room and dashed
なん
downstairs.
だあいつ、プリンがそんなに好きなのか。
というよりも甘いものが好きなんです。小さな頃から変わらず大好きなものなのです。
へえ、そっか。
No, my pudding! Oh, look at Toka's little flip-flops. She's dead to me
今日
now.
の殿玉の放送は録画したです。
Lolli had just come back from the bath when I asked. It wasn't that I wanted to watch Tono Damaru or anything. I mean, I did, but I just wanted to spend time with Lolli. Yes, Yukimaro kept asking, so I'm pretty sure I recorded it. Lolli said, fiddling with the remote. Soon after, Tono Damaru appeared on the TV.
一緒に見るのダメです。
I was just thinking about relaxing on the sofa, so sure. She agreed easily, making me feel overjoyed. We sat together on the sofa, watching TV. Such a simple thing, yet so joyful. Surely this was the peak of happiness. I never believed this day would come. This must be what a dream feels like. When a Tengu teaches a mortal a lesson and they grow from it, it gives us a form of happiness. But being with her brings me a different kind of happiness. Perhaps because of the feelings I have for Lolli. Oh, I didn't know Tona Domaru looked like this as an adult. Oop. She was surprised at his adult form. Shame I can't look like that right now. Ooh. Oh, the foreshadowing. I was wondering about that. Because I was like, Toka, Toka's cute, but it's a very, like, usually in these kinds of games, there's like, a very classically handsome man that is like the main vibe, or unique. And Toka definitely looks unique, but usually not the like Shota, like, real boyish one. So I'm curious if we're gonna see a grown-up Toka, a real handsome grown-up Toka, because if so, I'm into it.
こういう大人の色気がある男性が好きですか？
She looked stunned, then giggled and blushed. I don't really know yet. She said that, but I couldn't tell if she really meant it. I mean, I just play Love in Deep Space all the time. What should I do? So, Toka, do you always appear as a child? Or do you age like humans do?
かつてはこういう時もありました。
Ooh, I can't wait to see it. Wait, really? So gods start off looking like adults? I shook my head, reminiscing.
僕がこうなることを望んだです。だからとても気に入ってるです。
Yes, this is an honorable form. That's nice. Honestly, I wish I could be a little prettier.
何を言うです。あなたはとても綺麗な女性に成長されているです。幼い頃だってそれは大層可愛らしいお子だったですよ。
Gosh, Lolli, you just don't get it, do you?
幼い頃から語るならば、口の周りに食べかすをつけるほど豪快に頬張る姿、姉上に落書きのごとく化粧されて化け物のような姿になった時も、さやかさんに
Okay, I get it. You don't have to say anymore.
分かってくれればいいです。
So, you really have been watching me for a long time, huh?
気持ち悪かったです。
I slumped my shoulders at Lolli's wry smile. Ah, I shouldn't have said anything. Because it's you, I guess it's not so bad. I was actually just kind of thinking about how much you've been there for me. Even though I was scared today, what you said made me understand. It let me know how much you care about me. It made me feel warm inside, so thank you. Oh, what a treasure this moment is. The unexpected reminiscing filled my heart with warmth. She means everything to me.
大好きです。
Oh. I confessed my feelings, and Lolli looked troubled, then blushed. Oh, but she didn't say it back. Oh, all right. That's not a bad point to end it on. All right. We're trucking along. All right, time to save. Some good game hygiene. All right. Yay! We're close. We've got 4, 5, 6, 3 chapters left. And then who knows? But I'm very excited to see how this goes. So, all right. With that, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me tonight. I hope that y'all had fun. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. My next stream is tomorrow. I'll be on Iriam. We'll be doing Study Buddies Lunch. So I'll hope to see you then. But yeah. All right. Well, until then, have a good night. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.